Bang your head
Yo,
studio.
what's going on, world? Y'all already know who it is. It's Uncle Cousin out here on the front porch again this week. You know what I mean? I've been honored, blessed to receive the company of two kings this evening on the front porch. And they came to talk to Unc about patriarchy and matriarchy. Y'all already know Unc got big lips, so I say shit funny. If you can't see it, you can't understand it. Hey, man, read the caption, and hopefully the caption you'll be able to read and understand what I'm saying. We got Kevin Singlet Lewis and Rodney Mason out here on the front porch today, man. And we're gonna talk about that topic right now. But before we get into it, I'm gonna let them tell you a little bit about them.
All right, man. I'm gonna start off. What's up, world out there, man? My name is Kevin Scene Lewis. I'm an artist, local artist, paint out. I guess I paint out of Macon. You know what I mean? Like I do all my work out of Macon, but I do work in DC and all over the. Just I kind of travel a little bit. But yeah, I'm just an artist, man. I like to paint, like to make people see beautiful things, and if they can pick up on it, man, they learn something from it. That's a home run for me. You can see my art on scenism.com is my website, and then Scenism7 art on Instagram. That's the easiest way to get a hold to me. And I brought my brother Rodney in. It's a good partner of mine, but he's a man of many talents and everything, and I'm just glad to get him up here.
Yeah, definitely, man. This is my brother, my brethren. So collectively we're like that, but individually, my name's Rodney Mason. Uh, moved to Macon about 3 years ago, middle of Georgia, and ever since then I jumped into the social sector. Started out working. I came here professionally, and then left that and jumped into the social sector, trying to figure out how to help community, build community. A lot of great people in this area, and there's not a lot of equitability in this area, unfortunately. So I thought, why not try to do that? Why not try to help with that? And so I started a nonprofit called Restored Ancestral Roots that touches on language awareness, foodways, as well as just anything that connected with restoring ancestral roots that were lost through the diaspora, through from spiritual practices, the arts, everything work that Kevin does. You see it. We're just kind of like we're symbiotic, in that sense. So restored ancestral roots. Yeah, check us out on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at the Insta Tourist. You can see into my personal life, everything, right? On the front porch, anywhere,
That part.
we ain't hiding nothing.
That part, brother. You always welcome to come out here on the front porch. I'm appreciative of you kings coming over here and kicking it with me today, man. The concept of matriarchy and patriarchy represents two different social types of power dynamics, gender roles, and societal structures. In today's society, discussions around these terms reflect ongoing debates about gender equality, power distribution, and cultural norms. I feel this is Uncle Cousin. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Cousin feel that if you subscribe to matriarchy or patriarchy, you set yourself up for anarchy. That's how I view that. So I just want to get you guys' perspective on what do you think about matriarchy and patriarchy in today's society?
Obviously, there's pros to it. I mean, it's protected. I mean, when you look at our societies, I think our societies as descendants of Africans always was based on the matrilineal line, right? It kind of, you could be sure that the baby in the mother's belly was hers,
That
right?
part.
So
Mama, baby, daddy, maybe.
yeah, daddy, maybe, so it's protected, and if you base the way we build and the way we develop our seeds just off that. I mean, matriarchy, there's a lot of power in it. The patriarchy side of it, I think it's kind of skewed because that's what was attacked with us. I mean, like it was really systematically attacked. So I think you could debate there's weakness in it because of that attack worked.
I'm gonna like to jump on to that. What you just said right there. I mean, for me, so I got to say this at first, but when I talk, man, I'm letting you know I'm not speaking speaking from a place of expertise.
You're speaking from a place of view, and that's the only thing you can do out here in the
That's
front
all it
porch.
is.
My bad, fella. I forgot to tell y'all the rules of the front porch, man. I appreciate you, brother, but I hope everything you said you can stand on. You know what I mean? Because on the front porch, if you say it, you got to be able to stand 10 toes. If you can't stand 10 toes, somebody's going to jump in them comments, and it's going to be on you to defend what you say.
Yeah.
But you got it back, Kevin.
Yeah, appreciate you. But I agree with that. I mean, let's say I love having a healthy debate. I'm always open to, if you want to enlighten me, enlighten me. Mm-hmm. I approach knowledge in that I really approach knowledge in the humblest way that I can. Don't know if there's only a few things that you can't tell me shit about. We can curse, right?
Huh?
We can curse. Okay.
You got them all, don't you?
Yeah.
Shit.
All right. Then. But there's only two things. You're not gonna tell me how to do my artwork,
right?
And you ain't gonna tell me how to raise my family because you ain't got knowledge on either one.
Facts.
Except for the information that I give out to you. That's a whole another diatribe that I like to jump into, dealing with us in social media. But what I will say is, what I'm speaking on is matriarchal societies. I always fall back to Native American culture. A lot of Native American culture, not all, but a lot of them, and indigenous and African had a lot of matriarchal systems that were set up that way. I saw, and again, I could be wrong, but from the little bit of readings that I've done with the Europeans coming in, they attacked that and they exploited that. Those systems going through the matriarchy and everything like that.
Right.
And when we came over here during the diaspora, we got thrown into this patriarchal society.
Right.
Which was, us being the beautiful people that we are, we adapted and we succeeded and everything like that, but they tore the family down, which brought us back to this unnatural state of matriarchal society where, there's the effect of the name that's placed on you. You want to check your lineage through there and everything, but there's Big Mama.
Right. Big Mama.
Daddy may not be there, but Mama's going to be there. And a lot of times, just speaking from experience, I'm saying a lot of times you lean towards your mother.
It's true.
A lot of people lean towards their mother first. The father's there, sometimes he ain't there, and we can get into we got to chop that up. Yeah. I think, but for the most part, I see there's some things that we lost as far as knowledge and ways and culture in the matriarchal society to make it successful.
I truly feel, brother, that when we subscribe to anything outside of us, we lose us. Mm-hmm. If I subscribe to anything other than me presenting my best effort for whatever endeavor it is that we are engaged in, I'm allowing some outside entity the power to control what we do. But if you and I have an understanding of what needs to be done and you're doing your part and I'm doing my part, what the hell they got to say got to do with it?
Yeah.
But we conform because no matter who it is or what it is, somebody gonna have something to say because there are several ways to get things done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, always. Yeah,
but however, but just like you pointed out, certain things, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. You can't tell me shit about.
Yeah.
I don't even, I don't want your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases, it irritates you when someone tries to give you their opinion on certain aspects of your life.
Yeah. It falls down, it takes me down this rabbit hole is, I'll make an example of social media. People are so quick to put their business out
and then get mad.
And they get mad when you comment on it. Right?
Yes.
Totally ignoring the whole point of social media.
Right.
Is that, you putting stuff out there for people to consume. And then they're gonna catch feelings when they hold the mirror up in your face, or whatever the case may be. The normal term that a lot of people say, you don't know me, you don't live my life. Well, I'm going off the information that you're presenting.
That part.
I have every right to discuss this because you put it out. If you don't want it out there, don't put it out. Yeah. You don't want your information out, don't put it out. These are basic human things that I think everybody needs to know. But for some reason, we get caught up in what's going on out in the ethers and the worlds and everything, and we trying to keep up with this Jones and that Jones and everything. We feel the need to put these things out there to make ourselves feel better. But that those things lead to that. And again, I would love to do a little more research on the effects because again, the patriarchy is cool. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not at all, man. Like I said, it's at least for some misogynistic shit that happens, man, and
And
Brothers-
it goes both ways, bro.
I
Because
told you
that's
that.
matriarchy. You have
Yeah.
some females that they are just as narcissistic as some of these do.
Well, you know, I say
Narcissistic. Let me say that
narcissistic.
right. Well,
Yeah, I
see,
feel
I don't be out there. I don't got a dictionary.
no, I feel you on that. I think that you know, again, I've had the opportunity and to live across the world.
Right.
And I've lived in different cultures, and I've lived in, you know, when I lived in Turkey, it's one of my favorite places to live, and you know, very patriarchal.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah. That region.
you don't see no single mothers. I'm sure they're there,
Right.
but you don't see them.
Right.
So there's a role that, you know, that's not taken on that side.
Right.
You know, and towards everything where the husband says goes.
That's it.
And you follow line of this, and
Mhm.
they move. You know, I know I've had friends look, and they'll see the freedom, what they perceive as freedoms
Mhm.
that other Americans or whatever that would have over there.
Yeah.
They say don't work in Turkey.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
This
Like
is the way it is.
yeah,
It's not one of those.
yeah.
It's not one of those societies where, oh, damn America, we gonna let them.
Yeah. You can't do it over there. You know
No.
what I'm saying? You not
This is the law of this land, and
Yes.
you're gonna abide by the
Yeah.
law of this
Yeah.
land. I don't give a damn who you is.
That was an interesting time. Like I said, interesting time because the nicest, sweetest, humblest people I've ever met in the world,
Right.
right? But you know, the way that your spouse interacts, that speaks on you. It's a
Exactly.
patriarchal society. You the man, you the lead, and everything like that. Now, you know, the Western ways and Western traditions that have come up in our culture, man, it comes off. It rubs a lot of people the wrong way.
It does.
A lot of people. You know.
It does. And you know what, brother Mason, I want to get your perspective on that. Being that I know you are heavily ingrained in the community, I'm sure you were ingrained in your previous community prior to coming to Macon. How do you see this community?
So Macon is complex. In that it's a hurt community.
Mhm.
It's a hurt community, right? And it's a community where there's opportunities, and those who have taken the opportunities, the way I see the community now, those who have taken the communities have created like these social spaces for themselves. And in creating these social spaces, they haven't made enough room for everybody else to come into them as well. So you get into these spots where, you know, what 400 churches in Macon, something like that, something crazy like that. So
Yeah.
so that is where the emphasis is placed.
Uh-huh.
All right. And so I think we've had the conversation. If you took, you know, all the money that goes into these churches and you kind of, there's no need for that many churches.
Talk about it.
Right. So if you kind of cut that in half and created a trust for the community, these communities could be empowered, not just the churches. Right. So that's the way I see Macon. Needs to make a little bit adjustment there. That's my opinion. Right. But that's my opinion based on living other places where the church didn't control things. And whether you stand on the side of politics or religion, all of these devices are ways basically to control mass amounts of people. Right. So whether you want to use the family institution to control things, you want to use the church to control things, you want to use politics to control things, we have to step outside of ourselves and be honest and say, are we doing this because it's good for everybody or because it's what we want to see? You know, so that's kind of my opinion about Macon. But I love Macon.
Right.
I did not have to stay here. But when I left my job, I was like, no, let me see what I can do here to help here. Right. And so that's why I jumped into it.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think the problems that you stated, especially with the churches and everything, that's a nationwide epidemic, you know, with the Western world. And I say that again, living over in Germany, I saw the role of the church, and you know, they say it's Christianity and everything, but the role of the church there versus the role of church here is night and day difference, right? Even going back to, I gotta bring it back to my culture, but you know, going back to segregation and Jim Crow days.
Okay.
The role that the church played then.
Right. The church was a safe haven.
man, it was total safe haven for that knowledge that communities needed to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk to the Lord, we're gonna do this and do this, but hey, we got a clean house right now. And this, we need to go vote for this, we need to do this, we need to organize this, we need to do this for our community. That shit is gone.
Exactly.
And that, you got churches over here competing with each other.
Talk about it.
Which is it's asinine to me.
There.
But I think those are the things, like I said, that is missing. And it's just that's an African American in our culture. That's one of our problems. We trying to follow their system of churches, and they don't even care. They don't even read the Bible. They don't even believe in the same shit that we believe in. I think that's like,
they stopped believing in the Bible when they sold it to us.
Thank you.
When they sold us the Bible, they said, "All right, I ain't got to worry about that no more. Y'all got that. I got the land. I own everything here while I'm here."
But what kills me is, like I said, you got a lot of, and again, you got a lot of motherfuckers that's out there. They trying to use it as a hustle.
They are hustling. That's what they're doing.
But that's what they see the white churches is doing. I mean, you see the Joel Osteens and all these other cats. Mm-hmm. You see that money, so now you got these on our side looking, man, they doing it. I want to do that.
I want to do what they do.
Instead of coming together, making a house,
mm-hmm.
making a real house, something that serves the community and all this other jazz. You over here, you want to compete with the church that's two blocks down.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're dividing up the community.
But that's okay. So my thoughts on that, bro, is again, when you subject yourself to anything, you lose yourself. You give yourself away. You give all of your power to someone else to control, because you have to abide by those rules and guidelines of said action or principle or activity. You are no longer able to be you, because like you said, there are certain times you might want to cuss, but I can't cuss.
Yeah.
I don't want to cuss because I'm right here. Fuck that shit, man. You feel like cussing, cuss.
Yeah, I think there's a definite balance that needs to be happening. That needs to happen within that aspect. When I say that with, religion, people gaining religion, everything. I'm all for the stance that I take. If it makes you a better person, I rock with you. Go ahead, do it. Please do what you need to do. The moment that you feel the need to sit there and point out differences and say, I'm going to the Most High, you going to hell. That's where you fall short, and that's where all the problems happen and everything.
So why do you think that is, though? You giving yourself away.
Yeah. I mean,
you're looking for an outside entity to power you.
That's I look at it too. I mean, like I said, that's a stain of colonialism.
What you got, bro, Mason? I see you look like you want to say something, bro.
No, exactly what Kevin was saying. I mean, and I've always said this, right? I learned this: shame, fear, and guilt are the three easiest ways to control a person.
Fact.
Right? Mm-hmm. Shame, fear, and guilt. And politics, religion, your mama, your grandmama, everybody, your daddy, everybody uses it to some measure to control. And like you said, right? Once you stop, using that wonderful thing sitting on your shoulders for yourself and your own best interest and your own personal sovereignty, your own individual sovereignty.
Yes,
you don't believe in yourself to make your own decisions and this and that. You're going to turn somewhere to get the answer given to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we start fucking up.
Right.
Just bottom line.
Yes, sir. Because again, you've now become a vessel for someone else to control.
Yeah.
To your point, Kevin, when you pointed out about the the church being the staple of the community and individuals going there for structure and direction,
that's because
they didn't know. And those individuals didn't know, and they knew that if I go there, this person that's in this building is versed in this in politics. This is what this brother done. He sat home and read all the papers. He has connections, and he's getting information from other locations that he can tell us what's gonna happen if this goes through. And we vote for this measure. This is what's gonna be the repercussions on us.
Yeah,
we don't have that anymore.
No, we totally don't. No, we totally don't. I mean, it's become this popcorn society, and I say that like in the sense of microwave. No one wants to sow these seeds and watch them grow. They need that. They need that immediate gratification of I'm gonna do this action. I need this reaction. No one wants to think the long. That's not in our culture right now. Not in American culture.
No.
I mean, that's not in American culture. And I guess, like I said, you just said, you really need to people just really need to take a step back, take a step out of yourself. That's the hard thing to do. And like again, if a community comes together, you're thinking about the community.
Mm-hmm.
There's always yourself there,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if there's something that you can't do, you know what I mean? This is breaking down that statement to the smallest compound. Like my man right here can grow anything.
Right.
I can't.
Right.
So but we need to find common ground where we can benefit each other.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the sense of the community, right?
Yes, sir.
But you can't do that. And then again, you ain't got the right to. If you want to go be a wild man, go live in the woods, so be it. But guess what you lose? You lose the protection of having a community.
Exactly.
Watching each other's back.
Yes, sir.
To me, what's happened through with integration and all that, they got everybody, and as time gone on and everything, it's everything's about self. Me,
Mm-hmm.
self, first. I. Yeah.
That's what it's all
Facts.
about.
And you lose sense of, because it's to the point now where the family structure is blown up. So you in the family structure, you can't even claim your family no more.
Because the only time we get together for a funeral.
Exactly. You want to get mad, you get mad at your folks, man, and you don't talk to them no more until a funeral, until somebody died.
And then you hear that same damn speech, man. We gotta cut this shit out, man. I know it's that time getting so I wonder how much longer we gonna be here, man. We can't keep doing it to each other. I love y'all, man. I love each and every last one of y'all, man. Then 10 minutes later, you hey bro, I got an idea that I got something that I'm working on. I want you to come in and work with. Oh man, I ain't gonna be able to do that right there, man. I got X, Y, Z. That's what I again, right?
You know, I look at the state of the Black community. I'm gonna say the African community that was here during Jim Crow, after slavery and everything like that. Because we was dealing with so much trauma, because we was dealing with so much fear and guilt, we had to huddle together.
Mm-hmm.
And you built this beautiful thing of community, which we learned to depend on each other.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all know, excuse me, that it was the Black community that saved Cadillac?
I saw that video. Yeah, I think you posted that, John. I saw that. I was just like, that's why we have an affinity for it.
Because during the Great Depression, it didn't affect the Blacks that were influential in their community, that had their money, because they weren't able to put their money in the banks. But now in today's society, all money goes through the bank. Yep. It's all electronic. So that if you owe me or you owe the government, all I got to do is do a couple of keystrokes, and I got my money. I ain't got to worry about you talking about you ain't make this or you ain't make that. Oh, I know how much you got.
Yeah, I was gonna say, kind of going back to Kevin's point about the microwaves or the popcorn society, right? I think a lot of that is fed by desperation. Desperation in the sense of there's scarcity out here for us, right? And we need it quick, because if I don't get it quick, Kevin gonna get it before I get it, right? And we count each other's pockets. And I'm not saying that internet world to say that everybody is doing that,
right?
But that's our default. We fall back when we pressed a little bit, when we in a corner a little bit, we go for hours, right? Instead of standing on, like you say, standing on all 10. Take your loss.
That's
all
it.
Right? Take your loss.
Take your lesson. It ain't a loss.
Yeah, learn from it. Yeah.
And then reinvent yourself.
That's it.
Reinvent yourself. And so that's what the OGs need to be handing down. Bro, I'm from Louisiana. I'm gonna tell you this right now. There's a big break between culture and tradition. All right. We all know that we from a Geechee culture or a Creole culture or whatever culture it is we're from. What happens is the OGs want that culture to never change. They want the traditions to never change. But here we are, 30, 40, 50 years away from when this tradition started. We can't be intimidated by what the younger folks is doing.
No.
They gonna do it anyway.
Exactly, because we did it when we were young.
Right. And you're going to be here about 20, 30 more years. Me, you, Kev, everybody going to be here so much longer. And they're going to do it their way anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'm speaking to the young world out there. Yes, be you, but be it the right way.
That part.
Don't be selfish. Develop yourself. Don't be an immature development of yourself. Be the best version of yourself. Everywhere you go. Yeah.
I mean, just think about this, bro. Think about this, right? If you take each neighborhood, however many individuals are in that neighborhood, and they collectively chip in, they can have their own corner store in their neighborhood versus having these grant fed
Grant owners,
Indians running all of the stores because they get these stores through grants.
Yeah, that we don't have access to.
Exactly. We can't get it, but they get this is what they get to come into our community and get our money because everybody always running down to the corner store.
Yeah.
You go to the corner store to get this, go to the corner store and get that. Because like I know in our community, not everybody has transportation.
Yeah. No, that's it. I'm right now. I'm painting I'm doing a mural in a basketball court in the Fort Hill area on the east side of Macon, and this I'm just gonna say with Macon in general, man. We talked about the other day. Like, there's no grocery stores inside the city. No, that there's not even like the real old school markets. I know there's Lloyd's and everything like that. They come out and do a real service for the people, but for the people that live in Pleasant Hill, that live in in the east side, northeast side, and everything. I'm walking around like, man, y'all got the gas station.
That's it.
That's hard.
That's it.
What I mean? That's hard, man. And that's the same thing that's happening in every, impoverished or, challenged area throughout the country, from reservations to ghettos to projects. That's what they're running into, man. And I think that's what's so important what you're doing, the foodways and everything like that. That needs to happen. Everyone needs to have a community garden. A functioning community garden.
And what Kev is saying, right? Even places that do have stores. Okay, so Pleasant Hill might not have a store. This community might not have a store. The communities that have stores don't have culturally appropriate food, right? Yeah. So the choices that you're given still aren't like you're given choices. You're given options, but it's not really what's best. It's not tapping into your space, place, and identity.
Right.
The things that should be given back to you as a descendant of an African, this stuff's not given back to you. No. So, and I'm not saying we're not up here preaching. We're not up here preaching. We cutting this thing open.
I'm about to fuck that. Let's go.
No, but I'm saying we cutting this thing open and exposing it for what it is.
Yeah. And then that's what we're supposed to do on the front porch.
And then we can go back and start listening to. I'm saying really listening. I'm gonna close my mouth and listen to how y'all feel. I want to know. Exactly. We go to too many functions for young folks, and the young folks don't have no voice.
Yeah.
The old folks is in there saying, "Oh, this is what's wrong with young folks," and whoop-de-whoop this. And listen to folks here to tell you what's going on from their perspective, right? So we're not preaching. We cutting this thing open and talking about what's going on, and like, okay, now let's all come together.
Exactly.
And talk solutions.
Right.
It's really where it's at. But thank you for the platform. Right.
That's what it's for, bro. That's what the front porch is for, man.
We need this, bro.
Solution.
Yeah.
Instead of making a building, instead of having a white picket fence and green lush grass in the front yard, plant a garden. I grow collard green, you grow turnips, he grows celery, somebody else grow carrots, somebody else grow peas, and we provide each other. We help each other in our community, but we ain't gonna do that because, man, that man said they buy such and such. That woman said they buy X, Y, Z.
Yeah, I think one of the beautiful. I love the area when I first came here, man. When I first went to Smiley's, man, that blew my mind. You know what I mean? Like, again, we lived overseas for so long.
Yeah,
coming back and seeing this, and I'm sitting there walking through, like, man, they got everything, and they all like literally depending on each other right here. This is some lessons, and I see us sprinkled in there. I'm talking about the Latin American community that's come up here and been working hard up here. They got the restaurants, authentic food. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got all the services. They got a barber, a dude over here painting cars, a dude doing this, fixing, and it's just like, man, this is either the future. You know what I mean? Like, if things get too bad here, this is the future. But it's a lesson. To me, it's a lesson in community.
It is. A lesson in community. If anybody has shown us here in America, the importance and the benefits of working together as a people, is the Hispanic culture.
It's them right there. What they doing?
Look at these Hispanic culture. These Hispanics around here now. They are owning neighborhoods. They have whole neighborhoods that they basically in control of, and they started out by 3 or 4 families living in one house.
I mean,
And this month, my family paid the bill. Next month, your family paid the bill. Next month, your family paid the bill. But what happened with us is, oh man, I'm shocked, bro.
Well, but we have to deal with, again, my favorite phrase is the stain of colonialism.
Right.
That thing has fucked up the DNA.
True.
To an extent of culturally, man, we don't know which way is up. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know which way is up. And again, I've had to thank God for the opportunity. I've been able to live outside of my neighborhood where I grew up in Hampton, Newport News, Virginia. But when I get over here, when I got overseas, and I'm seeing the people that they call, when I lived in Germany, they called the Turkish the niggas there.
Mm-hmm.
The Turks were the niggas there, right? And I remember I met a brother his name was Ahmed, and he took me, we became boys. He was like, man, you're gonna come to the ghetto, right? And I'm like, I know you ain't gonna tell me I know ghettos, you know what I'm saying? And we go to this place where, basically what it was just where a lot of the Turkish families have lived there for generations. You got multi-generational apartments, right? That's over in K-Town, you know what I'm saying? Like on the other side of K-Town. But you get in there and I'm like, this ain't no ghetto, this is clean. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no trash on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking of the worst. I'm thinking of the projects where I grew up.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking the hallways gonna smell like piss. The hallways gonna smell like piss. But nah, we get inside these buildings, man. And what I loved seeing was the doors was open.
Mm-hmm.
Kids was running, bang,
Just
bang,
playing,
bang, bang, from house to house. They running outside doing this, man. I ended up having the best barbecue. I brought my family.
Right.
And we got treated like royalty. You know what I'm saying? We had
because they embraced you in their community.
Right? And I guess what I'm getting at is like the family structure that they have there, where it definitely is this community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure there's kids that got popped by other people and all that. Whatever the old school things that we have, whatever. But they really don't discipline their kids the same way that we do. And I'll say that I think that's something that's a stain of colonialism as well.
Right.
Big Mama will whoop us to keep the master from having to whoop us. Now, I already got him. You ain't got to get him.
You ain't got to worry about it, master. I already took care of him.
Whipping, beating thing, because they don't do that in Africa. You know what I'm saying? The kid got to learn. He got to go ahead and burn your hand.
That part.
You going to learn.
Stick your hand in that fire.
Now, you keep whipping me, I'm going to get used to the whippings, but I'm still going to do what I do.
Mm-hmm,
that's not teaching me.
They ain't teaching me.
Fear. You're teaching me through fear.
You're trying to instill fear in me.
Yes. You're instilling fear in me, and that all that does, that really is the seed that drops us into when we go to school to become a cog in the wheel, or to prison.
Yes, sir.
Because guess what? You know what I'm saying? They everything is a scare tactic. Boy, you better do this, or you're going to do this. You better do this, you're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Or you end up here, Yes. Now, the one of the beautiful things that I saw when I lived in Turkey, again, it was funny because the Turks that lived in Germany, I'm kicking it with them. I'm thinking, and then when the wife got orders to Turkey, I was like, I know what to expect. Mm-hmm. Now, when I got to Turkey, boy, that was Iraq. Yeah. Like we was in Syria. You know what I'm saying? When we was on the border, I'm like, this ain't like European Turks. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing that will go off in my head is like, man, why? When I was in Turkey, it looked like the Wild West. But when I was in Germany, it was a fucking community because they was forced to live in this area and they had to depend on each other.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? They learned how they had to depend on each other, and they took pride in where they lived. You see what I'm saying? Well, everybody had, not saying everybody had a business, but somebody had a business that everybody went to.
Right.
So this whole community supported this donor shop. This whole business went to this tailor. Yes. This whole community went to this place. Yes, and that dollar or that euro circulated in that community. Right. It's all right there for me to see. Now, when I got to Turkey, there's the divisions because culturally there was a lot of there was the Turkish people, there was some Egyptian like Arabs, and then there was a Kurdish. And we fuck with each other like that. So I started seeing more of the American effect. Like, oh, okay, all right, they doing the same thing, so it's a little rougher out here. But the lessons that, again, what I took away from that was like, man, this is what our culture used to be pre-integration or whatever. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like we had nothing
to be that way.
We had nothing but depend on each other.
1865, I'll say this several times out here on the porch, man. 1865, the dollar became God. It surpassed the whole religious, the white Jesus that you see in the churches on the wall. The dollar is God. Because even in that church that you go to, they pass that collection plate round to get that green dollar. Because we need to do this and we need to do that. In most cases, ain't a doorknob been changed in the church. You know what I mean? That same cricket spot that was there when you was a kid, you go right back to that church. That same cricket spot still in the floor. If it ain't completely fell through.
Yeah.
But the matriarchy, right? Matriarchy has run society since society's been society.
Yeah.
Because even when we were enslaved, like you pointed out, Big Mama still ran the house. Because Lil Johnny grew up, look, he idolized Big Mama. Big Mama took care, he sucked Big Mama milk. He didn't suckle his mama breast. In most cases, they suckled from the slaves. The slaves raised them as their own. I mean, they couldn't feed their own kids because they had to make sure the white kids could eat. So the woman has always had the leadership role.
Yeah.
And the black man has always had to play that secondary role. Because Big Mama come down and say, hey man, you need to get this and this and this done. So master don't do this and that. And the men would take that information and, hey bro, okay, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to do that. They'll pass it out to get the mission complete. But we don't have nobody giving out that message today. Like my man, like you pointed out, Mason, there's the kids don't have a voice. And when you try and give them a voice, the ones that need to speak up won't speak up.
Yeah, and so the things you mentioned about Big Mama and the dad's role, the male's role, and all that, I think came from an altered environment too, right? Because now we're enslaved. Now we don't own anything. We're not empowered, and so that didn't really change when we got freed from slavery.
No.
We're still in an altered environment.
Yes,
we're
sir.
in this big test project in the United States of America. It is not it. Like Kevin tells me all the time about these cultures in Germany and Turkey that go back centuries.
Right.
I mean, thousands of years, 2,000 years, and nothing's changed about them.
No.
Very ingrained. It's not gonna change. It works perfectly for them. Their way of living works perfectly for them. And I mind my business when it comes to that. Bro, that's fine for you.
Because you ain't messing with me. We good.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Right. And so the Big Mama thing and the matriarchy and the patriarchy is very new to a person of African descent, of just straight African descent, because it was never that. It was just so complementary. Our way of living is so complementary.
Yes.
The earth first.
Right.
We don't own nothing. We don't own nothing.
Nothing.
We steward it.
Yeah.
That's
we
it.
just
That's
take
all we
Take care of it. That's how that's how they bamboozle. I mean, they that's how they did the Native Americans. Hey, we gonna buy this land from you.
You a body land
Buy
from
the land.
on this?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then they did war and genocide on top of that to back it up when they not prepared for that. That's all, and I had a brother tell me a while back, man, a long time ago, but this is what he told me about. And this kind of goes into the matriarchal society thing, is that, when the missionaries and explorers and everything, when they would come in and conquer, they went through the women. Because the women were the ones that, had the lines to talk to whatever leaders and different cultures, and they interested in seeing something different.
That part.
Too
far from
what's going on here?
Ain't no women do a lot of shopping today.
I mean,
they have functional items in the house, but
the missionaries come down and bring that damn stuff, that damn
it's
colander.
still work, but this is old.
They bring that colander. Let's listen to them. Let's see what's in that book. They got this book and they got this colander. That makes shit easier. Boy, I ain't gotta do that.
Right.
And I know that's a real
nuance.
That's a real
condition.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's something that, again, it goes back to the stain of colonialism. Colonialism fucked up a lot of places. I'm talking India, all over Africa, and the New World. That's a lot of the land. And for you to get away from that, you got to go to the Far East. And that's one of the things that it's beautiful to see that, to see something that develops with no real European influence. They shit was solid before the Europeans came to and not to say that no one else was either, but they were on the same level as far as violence and prepared to go toe to toe. It wasn't
Right.
no,
I'm just gonna let you come in and,
you know what I
I'm
mean?
do
Like,
whatever you tell me to
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they was like, no. Well, I didn't find out the goddamn Golden Horde. I don't find out Kublai Khan and Genghis Khan. And who was you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to show me. They did. They dropped that bomb on them.
Yeah.
That was the last straw. And then you saw some of these Western ideals getting forced over there. You see what I'm saying? But prior to that, they was holding fast, holding tight. Nah, you're not coming over changing this.
We live in.
No, we can build that too. What? Oh, we can build it better than you. You see what I'm saying? But the level of violence that happens out of that colonial mind frame, and people want to say the caveman thing or whatever like that. That could be that as well. But I see it as a colonial thing when they want to come in and take up and chop up land and break all the resources down and take it, rob, get fat off of it, and throw peasants. But that was the thing that brought them to the World War IIs and all that. It's a wicked way.
It is.
It's a wicked way. So those stains are all over the world. And I think those are the things I said. If this right here, these phones, they're so powerful. You can contact and talk to anybody over the world. And you find out these things like, man, we got more alike than we do different. That's the power in that right there.
Yes, sir.
So all of a sudden now, and again, the powers that be, they seen that back in 2014, 15, 16, they had the internet, like what can be trying to control what was on the internet and how these things work and all that jazz, man.
Right.
They try their best to control it, but you can't. The cat's already out the bag. So what do? The next thing they do is disinformation. They start sending out bullshit.
Exactly.
And now all of a sudden it's easier for a brother. This thing is beautiful. I love it, but it killed scholarship.
Yeah.
It killed scholarship, and it fits into the that popcorn society thing because you can get stuff immediately. I can see this. I can see this quote in the Bible. Not take it into context. You know what I'm saying? Not doing anything, but they want to do the gotcha moment shit. I know brothers that read their books on YouTube.
Yep.
And they think they think they know it all, but they ain't never felt the page, ain't never flipped the book, and like reading in its entirety. Sit back and read, bro. Don't be dictated to.
Right.
Sit back and read something. There's something that you gain from reading that you don't get from being dictated to.
Your interpretation. Read it and get your interpretation of it, and then we can sit down and have a conversation.
Yes.
I can read the exact same thing that you read and see it.
And we have two different things. And guess what we got to do though? If we're gonna be partners, we got to come to a middle ground.
Exactly.
But it ain't nothing that you got to fight over. It ain't nothing that you got to, I'm like, I'm better than you or this, that, the third.
No.
It doesn't have to be that. That comes with if you have a trade, if you have something to give and offer. Now, if you a bump on the fucking log, you right. You pimpers paradise. We gonna get you.
Yeah.
But if you don't have no development of yourself.
Right. Right.
There's some people that
but again, what you just said, Kevin. Development of yourself.
Oh yeah. The knowledge of self.
You have to control
yourself. Yeah.
If you don't have 100% of control over yourself, how can you think that you're gonna help anybody else?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and Kevin and I had a talk before the election about how the African American identity works perfect for people here, because we lose our sense of space, place, and identity. Right. The people you're talking about in Asia, their history, their timeline goes back 6,000 years. Ours goes back maybe 200, 250, and it's shameful. Yeah. It's shameful that we think
we don't want to go past it. We're scared to go past it.
Right.
But that's the stain of colonialism in fooling you, tricking you into thinking that that's where you started.
Yeah.
Right. And then you cut that cord right there in the middle passage. Right. So there isn't that reach back. Yeah. There isn't that figuring it out unless you go back there and figure it out for yourself. We can work through these things.
We can. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know. That's not easy to do though.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That is not easy to do. So the easiest thing is to take this mantle of an African American identity and put it on yourself and just wear that because it's working well. Supposedly this is the place to be. Supposedly this is the pinnacle.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to this. So, when I lived in Turkey, there's a brother. This is one of the most profound. Turkey was my favorite place to live out of everywhere we've been and visited. Turkey was it for me. And the reason why is because, I had at my time, my son was 4 or 5 years, no, 4 years old, right? And as he's coming up, growing up, talking there, he had a little speech impediment and everything, man. But like the Turkish culture, man, they brought that shit right out of him, right? To where he was like, nah, because they was trying, the schools trying to put him in special ed classes. And, I was like, man, y'all ain't gonna put that label on my son.
Right.
From the beginning, nah, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. But I say all that in accordance with this, though. It's like when I was there in Turkey, this brother Hussein, who had a shop right outside the gate of the base. It was who he sold hookahs and rugs or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? And you go in there and every Turkish store or whatever, but he was Kurdish, brother. He was Kurdish, brother. He was a G. But I saw this, he had a picture of Martin Luther King, so I'm like, what you doing patronizing the brothers that come in? He was just like, and he's an older gentleman. He was in his 60s at that time. And he tells me, he says, man, nah, you guys have to understand. He's like, I'm a Kurdish. And he told me the history of the Kurds in that area. And he was just like, we don't have a land anymore. He said, we're free to travel between Syria, Iraq, Iran, and Turkey, but we can't vote. It's hard to set up business because we are truly, we don't have the governments won't give us nothing. So we got to go take it. So a lot of them lean to the crime side, you know what I mean?
Right.
But anyways, long story short, getting back to Hussein, this brother, man, he sitting, he knew Martin Luther King's speeches verbatim, right? And he's telling me, he said at the time, he said, when I was a young boy coming up, he said, all we had was Martin Luther King speaking to our plight as Kurds in Turkey.
Yeah,
and this whole area. It was like he's speaking, what he's saying, it rings true, right? And so while we was in Turkey, we got treated like royalty. Hands down, treated like royalty, right? I noticed not the Africans did, African Americans did, right? And I'm on the lighter side, but my wife and my son and they thought they walk up and kiss him and rub his hair and touch him and try to take pictures with him and all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm like, yo, the American in me is like, back up the fuck. You think we monkeys? Like I want to become aggressive. But my man Hussein was the one to drop the jewel on me, and he said, look, you have to understand. He said, everything. He said, by the books, your culture, African Americans, blacks, are supposed to be the bottom of the barrel. You were once slaves. You was chattel, right? But he said, everything that you touch, the world consumes.
Yes.
Hearing this from this senior citizen, older person, this Kurdish brother, they ain't never been to the States, dropped this jewel on me, and my son's right there, my daughter's there, my wife's there. Yeah. And he was just like, everything that you guys touch. He said, so when you see the Turkish people taking pictures of you, wanting to, they think Beyonce. Right. He said comedy, fashion, food, right. Movies, everything, it's like music. Yep. It's everything you touch turns to gold and the world consumes it. But we don't get no props for it, which they don't, which we do over there. But I'm like in the States, it's like, nah, we don't see none of that. Like we don't get that. We're second-class citizens. We 3/5 of a man over there.
Right.
And that's hard for them to understand that. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, and again, Turkey's one of the places like, nah, come here, live here.
Yes. Sir.
We love you. We know you're important. We know we want some of that. We want some of that to rub off with us.
We understand the power.
We understand your power.
Yes, we understand.
Because I promise you, you'll see the Africans come through and they don't get the respect.
But again, they should, because they have that same melanin in them. It's just a matter of
it's the
them
pressure
tapping into it.
Nah, it's the pressure. What I say is this: it's the pressure and the trauma and all that brings the superhuman being out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get put on exactly. When you get put on these confining whatever situations, whatever they be, beauty rises up out of it. It's that rose out of concrete type thing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that, and that's in Arabic. I know it's an Arabic parable or whatever, but it's just like, weak times create strong men create, easy times, and easy times create weak men. It's this constant vicious cycle that happens, and I think right now that our culture and our community is going through a weak time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a weak time. And so we about to create some nasty, wicked men. I mean, that's what we're seeing right now. You see what I'm saying? And which is we getting ready to turn this page to another hard time, and this hard time we're gonna see what we do.
But and okay, so you said make that statement, right?
Yeah.
I feel that we are going that way because we are operating in a state of survival. We aren't living anymore. We're trying to survive. And you aren't born to survive, you're born to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And instead of taking on that mindset, we thinking about, well, like you pointed out earlier, I got to have this and I got to have that. Everything is a competition. You pointed out 400 churches in Macon. Why?
Yeah.
You go to some of these smaller counties around here, and the population might be 25, 15,000. And I guarantee you they got at least 100 churches inside of a county. Like, why? Congregation of 4 people.
Yep. Yeah.
Why can't we all just come together and function as one? We all know what we need. We praying to the same deity.
Supposed to be.
There you go. Supposed to be. But in most cases, they ain't praying to no deity. They doing what they want to do because they get to do what they want to do in that church, in that environment. This is how this is ran, my way.
I saw this clip on I don't know, it was Instagram or whatever, but it was the dude that started the Chappelle show with Dave Chappelle, the white dude. And he was literally like talking about white privilege and this shit had me crying, laughing, but it's so true. He was like, talk about them and their religion, evangelicals or whatnot. He was just like, hey, y'all want to get right and want to come to heaven? And they like, nah, we're good here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, we're good here. Yeah, we making heaven on earth right here.
Right.
We do what the fuck we want to do. I ain't worried about afterlife. We here with this right now.
I didn't know he was the Chappelle.
Yeah, he helped create that. Yeah, that shit had me crying, laughing, but it's true because we over here where we operate in this place of fear, trying to get to the heaven,
to the next stage of life. And
meanwhile, we ain't even living the full life here.
Exactly.
Missing on or whatever, all types of we following rules set by
someone
else, the boogeyman.
Yeah, exactly. We following the rule set by another man
they never cared about us
controlling us.
Yeah, never cared about us,
and don't care about nothing but the dollar.
And that's and that I gotta say is where I'm careful. The religion line, like we said earlier, right? If you like it, I love it for you.
Yes.
So 400 churches, okay. I'm not gonna fight you on that because if that's what you think it is, I'm gonna let you ride that until it shows you that it ain't what it is. I'm gonna let you do that because that's the quickest way to turn somebody all the way off. Right. So what we're trying to do in these communities, I tiptoe around that. What I do see in Macon, because I know that's the landmine, that is the one thing that I tiptoe around is people with religious beliefs. My aunties,
yes, sir.
Bro, I don't touch it.
Yeah,
I don't go there because then I lose that access, that umbilical that I need to keep tied with them. So I am careful about that, about politics too.
Right.
Same way.
Right.
I hear you. I think that's that is the right thing to say, right thing to be, right? But also, I think, for me personally, you got to be the change that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? That you want to see.
Right.
You got to be the change you want to see. And too many times, and we are not to say we're too scared. And again, I don't give a fuck what you do. If you're not interfering with my ability to live and provide for myself, we ain't got to talk. I would love to have a communication with you because I think there's things to be learned from different people from different walks, different strokes, and all that other stuff.
Yes, sir.
I think that's the mission of life.
Right.
But when you become to a point where, like, I just know too many people that get to this level and like, I made it. I'm not doing no more.
I'm good.
Because why? Because this is what they said I'm supposed to do. I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to learn about this. And you got this whole world here that there's things to learn from. A lot of my Muslim brothers, same thing. We talk about the importance of the Quran, and the Bible and the Quran, they don't want to. They're not going to challenge it. They will not challenge it.
No,
They
you
will
should.
not challenge it.
You should.
And the Christians, they will not challenge it. And again, it's just like, please, the world. You think that Allah, the Most High, whatever the Most High, limits himself just to this book
Right. No.
when there hasn't
The
been
Most
an
High.
experience. Yeah, that's like there's so many things that you can learn. And not to say that you need to learn it just to learn it. I think that's another problem that we have is we so easy again because of the book and learning on YouTube that we feel we experts and ain't done no real scholarship.
Yeah.
Right. I that's one of the things that I detest. But again, I approach things humbly, and I like to say that hey man, if I can learn from it, let me learn from it.
Yep.
But there's too many brothers out here. They learn what to do with 2 pennies, but don't know how to change a tire.
That part. They got to call somebody to come and change their
Yeah.
tire.
Now that ain't gonna help you. You out there with your family in the wild, and you can't change a tire.
That part. That part. When the apocalypse come.
Yeah. And anything, any type of disruption is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And we worried about things that don't have a direct effect on our life. Learning that. I'm not saying there's not a problem with that, but we get filled with so much extra shit that it's just like, man, hey, there's a balance, and that's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. Hello, world. There's got to be a balance.
Yes.
There's got to be a balance. You know what I'm saying? You can't be your foot on the pedal, go all the damn time. You have to save something for your artistic side, your spiritual side. Those things need to be addressed as well,
Right.
because we're not just a physical person. Physical beings. We're spiritual beings, and we vibrate.
Right.
So you got to pay attention to both sides of that. But it's a balance. It really is a balance.
Yes, sir.
That's my little 2 cents.
I thought you were gonna go somewhere a little different along the line of you have to speak truth to people too.
Yes.
Right. I mean, even when it comes to religious beliefs and I think in that all of us have a hill we're willing to die on.
Right.
That is not the hill I'm gonna die on.
No.
But mine stops right around where my kids is at. Like that's about it. That's about all these other isms and ways of thinking and matriarchy and patriarchy and all the other ways of seeing the way we live. I'll let you have that. At the end of the day, if that's for you, that's for you. Exactly. I'm not going. At the end of the day, I'm gonna let you have it. But what our individual sovereignty and the things that we need to work to for these next couple generations, we need to start doing it now. Facts. Like that's it. Like, and Kev and I talk and 2025 and beyond and every year after that I'm on this earth, it's got to be that, right? So I hope there's an audience out there, a critical mass that's ready to jump in there with us all and obviously dig into the work that this brother does, like some of the imagery he puts in his artwork. Yes. And some of the ancestral things and some of the things people won't figure out for 400 or 500 years that he's locked into his artwork. Yes. I hope y'all start really looking at it now. Scene 7, please.
It's
please.
Ancient. It's a lot of there's knowledge there, but I love the challenge of it. I love to challenge the viewer when it comes to those things, because again, I run into, I love my mama. She looks and she's just like, what that eye got to do with that? You know what I mean? Like, right. Why you got to put that up there? And I'm like, Ma, the eye means more than what you think it is, what you know it is.
If
I'm
you would like some information on it,
exactly. Let me tell you. And it's like, and we can build on that. We can build on that. And not too many times, but we have love, and there's love and understanding there. Mm-hmm. And we have a bond. We have that bond, but that bond is not gifted to me from Joe Blow over here.
Right.
They'll see that aisle, they'll see, that insipidity, and they're like, oh, walk away. Mm-hmm. That ain't of the Lord.
That's it. That ain't of the Lord.
And I'm like, how you know?
That part.
How you know?
That part. I mean, just You know what? We're gonna say that for the next time, man. I'm gonna say that for the next time. But before we get up out of here, man, you know, again, I want y'all to shout out your tags and whatever. Let everybody know where they can find you at. And for the world, I want y'all to know that that's the artist that painted that picture right there behind him. That's who did that right there, all by hand. No, all I did was send him an ugly picture, and he drew that. You know what I mean? I sent him this little ugly face, and that man came up with that right there. And every other logo that I have, that man right there has provided just off of an idea that I gave him. And he created the art that you see whenever you see any of my logos. So from the bottom of my heart, brother, I appreciate you for being a stand-up brother. You know what I mean? Standing on what you say and standing on what you do.
Honest, man. Honest to you, man. Like I said, I appreciate every opportunity that I get. You know, but me and you, we more like family, and you've been there since the day you've been there before I decided to jump off the front porch.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like you was there, like, nah, but you need to get down and do this and get on there and do this and do this. You know, and I appreciate that. You know, my loved ones know. You know,
Yeah.
and they've always been that good push for me, man. And you know, I'm thankful and grateful that I'm able to do it and provide for my family. You know, with that being said, man, you know, just check my artwork out, man. If if there's again, it doesn't necessarily have to be cultural artwork. You know, I think that's what I like to specialize in. And there's all types of cultures. You know, there's not no monolithic culture out here, and that's what I love to explore. I love to learn about. I'm not afraid of that, and you know, if I can bring honor to someone's culture or anything like that visually, those are the things that I like to tackle and do and bring to the world, man. You know, and I just that's my gift, and that's how I'm do be the change, and make the world a better place. That's my attributes.
Brother Mace, what you got for me?
Yeah, thank you once again, UC, for giving me the mic for a few minutes. And great platform. I hope everybody out there is watching continues to tune in every week. I guess every week and hear this brother and what he's bringing out here. Just straight truths for our community. And as far as what I do, Restored Ancestral Roots is a big part of it. Just catch us in, just Google Restored Ancestral Roots. You can find us online, restoredroots.org. Find us on Instagram, find us anywhere talking about food literacy, talking about language awareness from the diaspora, and talking about our ancient arts, our lost arts.
That's what's up, bro. And that's a whole conversation that I think I want y'all to come back so we can delve into the food. Because is it really food? Or I mean, is it safe to call it food? But we're gonna talk about it the next time they come on the porch, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna close this out with the like you pointed out, Mason, the debate between patriarchy and matriarchy is complex, with significant implications for gender relations and societal organizations. As societies evolve, the push for equality continues to challenge the traditional power structures, advocating for a more balanced approach that values contribution from all genders. Y'all already know, man. Until we see y'all again out here on the porch, be where you at while you there, because that's the only place you can be.
Studio.
Peace.
All the way to the moon.